All right, guys. Well, I'm going to do this in one take because I do everything in one take. Listen, as this little subscribe button down here says, you should absolutely subscribe to me or else you're crazy. Listen, I'm crazy. I'm still crazy. My medication bottle, wherever it is still fucking empty. You can review my other videos to see how disastrous that is for my sleep video. And by the way, if you're concerned that these I'm crazy, you're too crazy, we're all crazy videos are a little bit too salesy or a little bit too exorbitant or exuberant or whatever the word is, you can look at all my dozens of other videos on this channel and on other channels and all of my very serious Hacker Noon and Medium articles to find an absolutely more serious voice. I do a lot of serious videos and I do a lot of serious content, but this I'm crazy, you're crazy content has been far more popular. So what are we talking about today? Well, the first thing is that I had this email from this guy. He's a very nice guy. He said in this first email that he's got over $1 million in equity for us, for our bots, if they're profitable. In this most recent email, he says, thanks for the detailed email. It was great about the returns, but they're about the same as staking or lending, which is arguably more safe. If we can leverage it some, that'd be a completely different dynamic, though. So what I did is I went and I changed all my variables in my software, and I looked at only those pairs on FTX that we could trade at more than 50x leverage, at like 100x leverage. So I mean, they don't do all of their instruments on 100x or higher than 20x, and they actually charge more fees. That's okay because our software gets into position and then it gets out of position very, very slowly, or only if the opportunities change. And there's not actually that much fees compared to the amount of revenues or yield that you could have. So if you take a look at these yields that are over 140%, the average is 265%, and the average over that average is 364% annual percentage yield. That's about a percent a day. That's just about a percent a day. That's just under a percent a day. That's like 0.99% a day. And listen, guys, I am crazy. I see stuff. I hear stuff. I honestly have had visions from myself in the future that have told me how to save the world or win the lottery, bro. Like seriously, crazy stuff. And I tell doctors this, and they say, you found that on Google, didn't you? And stuff. And it's just absolutely crazy what people will say. Problem is, we're actually making about a percent a day, but we don't need to risk this. If we're at 100x leverage, that means a 1% move in the wrong direction. And I'll show you my chart. Listen, my chart is down right now. It even went down since I started this video. It's less than 1%, which means that if we saw those kinds of losses at 100x leverage, we'd liquidate our account. And this stuff is very risky. And you should only risk what you can afford to lose, because you might lose it all. And to tell you the truth, if we were at 100x leverage right now and we hit these kinds of lows, we would see liquidations and we would lose funds. So listen, can you see my chart? Yeah, you can see my chart. So listen, the chart is down right now. I don't really care. People will cherry pick data and show you the best results they possibly can and say, oh my God, look at all these thousands of dollars we're making, and make it seem like they're doing something really great. Problem is, this chart's going to go up. I know it's going to go up. I don't need to prove to you guys that it's going to go up. I actually just restarted this chart and it was at 5%, meaning that the cumulative returns here are about 3% positive. It was up to 8% when I started noticing something very interesting. Let's take a look here at my positions. Oh, actually, here's the actual returns that we have over the course of the last day or so. These are the unrealized and realized profits, or realized and unrealized. We're actually about 89 bucks up rather than anything down. But anyway, let's go and look at our positions here. Now, I noticed we were about 8% up, which is a lot more than I was expecting when I was saying that we are going to make 100% a year, double our money every friggin' whatever it is, like a third of a year. Point is, or no, every year, I guess. Point is, I noticed that these Bitcoin positions weren't here yesterday, and they're actually a lot bigger than they were when I started looking at it earlier. They're about 1,300 bucks when I looked at it earlier, and they're perfectly hedged, which means that if the price goes up or down, doesn't matter. We're going to go up or down by about the same amount, and we're not going to lose anything over the price. Now, the thing is, because we weren't in Bitcoin yesterday, that means that the bot, and you can review the last video on how all of this stuff works, but the bot basically looked at all of the opportunities that exist. It compared them all and it found the best ones. It found about 6 of them that are better than all the other opportunities over the average that are over the threshold. And it traded those. And because Bitcoin wasn't one of those, it didn't trade it. And then what happened is the dynamic changed, and which ones were better opportunities changed. It decided to enter into Bitcoin. That means, guys, what it's doing, it's thinking for itself and it's saying, listen, we already made money on whatever this other coin was that it already cashed out of. It made 8% overnight. And then it decided to get into Bitcoin, which means that my 100% annual percentage yield is absolutely wrong. It's going to recapitalize using the same equity over and over again, sometimes in the course of less than a day, and realize those gains and get into more advantageous positions. It's gonna double your money, but risk only what you can afford to lose. Let's take a look at hi Basil Peter. Thank you for joining. Um, let's take a look at my FTX chat with the FTX reps. I said, blah, blah, blah. Looks like we're going to make a lot of money. I said, by the way, is there any way we could leverage you guys' marketing channels once we have something in production? He says, we'll probably retweet what you post so it reaches our audience. I had a look at their Twitter. Actually, this is kind of funny. Let's take a look. Twitter FTX. They've got 26,000 followers on Twitter. Thing is, they have 420 that they're following. Do you suppose that's like by design? Do you suppose they're following 420 because like 420, like haha, like haha, like I'm Canadian, so I'm allowed to say it, like weed and stuff, guys? Do you suppose it's all a joke? Anyway, guys, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna make a whole shit ton of money. And I made this chart, and this chart's gonna pop up all over the place once I start copy pasting it. Once it has more better results. But I mean, we could tweak this to make it look better. I could be like, oh, look at it go up. Since this is what people on the internet do, guys. They will make the charts look better for themselves. So they can look, it's slowly going up. It's doing so good. Point is, it actually is doing so good, and it is actually slowly going up. So I added this average percent yield to the chart. Right now it's negative 16,000, but I wouldn't worry about that. When it was positive, it was like, whoops, where am I? It was like 11,000. Anyway, it gets more accurate over time. This APY is going to tell us really what it's doing every single year. It thought it was doing 11,000. It's going to get less and less over time as it gets more and more accurate. It's going to get less and less pronounced. But either way, that's basically that. We're making way more than what I thought it was when I built this bot and sold it to people and decided to entertain this millions of dollars that people have to put on it. Guys, look, I'm crazy, but you're crazy if you don't subscribe, if you don't like this video, if you don't share this video and say, hey guys, look at this crazy dude and all his money. Anyway, we'll wait for this chart to improve a little bit more. It really was at 8% though. Like I even quoted that in this email I'm about to send people. And if you want to subscribe to my email, just go to hacks.substack.com. I'll even put it in the fucking description. Here, let's make a description so I don't forget about it. Sub here. And then what we do is we go to our other video, go to details, steal all this stuff, throw it right here. And I mean, I'm really happy that people do their own research, and I'm really happy that people take this stuff with a grain of salt. And I'm really happy that, like, for instance, on my Telegram here, in our Telegram room, where Basil Peter just joined, up here somewhere, a friend of mine said that this sounds like a scam. Sounds like a scam. Sorry, rewrite that. Which one? Mine or yours? He says, if I saw the same style of description on YouTube's trading scam projects, if you want to find investors, just use simple and formal language. And I mean, I explained it down here. I said, listen, I have tons of videos. And while I agree, I get literally 0 views on the other videos. So listen, if you guys are watching this because it's funny, if you're watching this because you want to make money, if you're watching this because you want to risk at your own risk aversion levels, and risk only what you can afford to lose, then listen, you should get a hold of me or at least subscribe for more of these videos, and we'll be back with more content as it becomes available. And as this graph becomes more pronounced and goes over 0, I mean, I will show you the results as time goes on. You can be assured rather of that. That's a guarantee. That's an actual, I mean, allegedly, and ostensibly, I will do so. So listen, goodbye. Seriously though, look at my face. I should probably change my shirt. It's got peanut butter all over it. Look, what's that? That's some kind of sauce. Subscribe. Bye.